Hello my friends, how are you? Happy New Year. This is my first video of 2018 and it's not the usual one that I would do. I've had a bit of trouble recently with a purchase I made on eBay, so I just wanted to make this video and hopefully it'll help you guys avoid having the same issue that I've had recently that I've been trying to sort out. So just before Christmas I wanted to do a couple of Hoover turbo power videos for you. So I went down to the garage and I dragged some turbos out, plugged them in, turned them on, gave them a run and found that the belts had stretched. They'd been down there for years and years and years, so obviously the rubber was no good anymore. So I thought, oh, that's all right, it's not a problem. Went onto eBay, found some turbo power belts, ordered them, and they arrived over Christmas, so I couldn't do the videos then, which wasn't a problem. I mean, there's always machines around here to do videos of. So when I got the belts, I obviously opened the packet up and thought to myself, oh, these don't look right. They just don't look like the right size of belt for the turbo power. And I bought the belts from an eBay seller called gradedelectricalsdirect, which looked like a really reputable seller. You know, they've got really good feedback and an awful lot of feedback. So I messaged them and said, look, I think you've sent me the wrong belts. I think you've sent me the belts for a Lux 500 series, because they look the same kind of size as you would expect a 500 to have, if slightly thicker. And they certainly nowhere near the correct belts for a turbo power. So then what ensued was a whole back and forth conversation with an incredibly rude and arrogant person on the other end of my communication, and really quite shocking actually. The long and the short of it is that they basically told me that I'm wrong and the belts that they've sent me are for a turbo power. I'm like, I know a turbo power belt from 200 feet. I used to sell them when I was younger. I've sold thousands of them. I've got God knows how many turbo powers. I've fitted God knows how many belts to them over the years. And I'm like, I'm really stunned by it. So what I'll do now is I'll show you the belts I got. I'll show you a turbo power belt. I'm just going to put a couple of screenshots in before I do that, so it just goes to show that, you know, I'm not making this up. I have actually gone through this. So the first screenshot will be a picture of the belts that I bought, so it shows, you know, that I've purchased them on my eBay. And then the second screenshot is the last reply I had back from Graded Electricals Direct, telling me that what they've sent me is for a turbo power. So now that you've seen those, I'll get the camera down and I'll show you the belts. Okie dokie, so I'll show you the belts that I received in the post. So these are they. It was a twin pack that I ordered. So just immediately looking at them, they look like Lux 500 series belts. The diameter is pretty close to 500. In fact, I think it might just be a little bit too short, but it's certainly close to it. And as you can see there, they're really thick as well. They're a really thick belt. Now, anybody who knows turbo power will know that this is not a turbo power belt. I mean, it just by looking at it, you can see it isn't. So let me get that out of the way a minute. So I'll pop that there. Okay. So what I have here is indeed a Hoover turbo power belt. Now, what really irked me about the seller was they said, you know, we've sent you pattern parts, and those are the right pattern parts for a turbo power. Okay, well, this is a pattern part as well, and this is for a turbo power because it's from a completely different seller. So just let me pop this over there like that. Oh, what a surprise! Oh, look, it's it's bigger than the belt Graded Electricals Direct sent me. And if we just compare the thickness as well, you can see there, look, the thickness is completely different. This turbo power belt is much, much thinner than whatever the hell machine this belt's for. So, you know, you can see there that it's not difficult to get this right. So what I want to do now is I want to try and put this belt on a turbo power so you can see that it really does not fit and it is far too short. So let's go and do that now. Let's get the base off this turbo power junior. Oh, hang on. Okay, let's get this off quick. This is actually the machine that I wanted to do the video of for you. Let's have a look here. You see that the belt is incredibly stretchy. It's absolutely knackered. Let's pop the brush roll out. There we go. Ooh, that doesn't feel very good. I think we might have to do some work on the brush roll for this one. Oh yeah, look. Not good. Anyway, that's not the point. That's not why we're here. Let me whip this one off. Let's get the old one off. There we go. So here's the belt that Graded Electricals Direct sold me. Let's have a look at the thickness. I mean, it just about fits in there in the belt guard. Let me pop that around the pulley. This is going to be tricky, so bear with me. There we go. I mean, it barely even pops out the top of the chassis. So I can't even barely get the brush roll on. There we go. I'm gonna try and stretch this now. I don't want to break the machine. I think that's part of the point that I'm making this video to show you. Oh God! Now, I'm no 7 stone weakling, but I cannot. Oh, God. No, I can't get that on. Oh, Jesus. No. So as you can see, that Graded Electricals Direct is not a turbo power belt. So at least I've proved it now. So that's good. Let me get this bloody thing off. Hang on. I can't even get it off the pulley now. It's really thick. Oh, there we go. Got it. Not a turbo power belt. A turbo power belt. Isn't it ridiculous that I actually have to go through this? Okay, let's pop this one on. It was on much easier because it's the right thickness. Pop the brush roll through. Goes on easily because it's the right length. And pop. There we go, look! We've got a belt on our Turbo Junior, the correct belt. Well, that's that done now, so that's good. So I can pop this back together and then I can do a video of it. As long as the brush roll's not too noisy. Hopefully it won't be. So let's screw the base plate back down. And we're done. Brilliant. So you're probably wondering, why am I going to all the trouble of making a video about this? You know, it's a pair of belts, for God's sake. It doesn't really matter. Well, it does matter because it just goes to show you what can happen when your customer service is appalling, and it's like the really small things. It's the fact that the person who I was talking to from Graded Electricals Direct, they didn't even bother to put their name on their message, so I couldn't tell who I was talking to. It's the tone of the response as well. I've been doing this a long time, and I did tell them that, you know, I've been collecting vacuum cleaners for 30 years. I've got a lot of them. They have formed a large part of my life. I can tell what a belt is just by looking at it, and I can tell if it's right or not. And the fact that this person even asked me to send pictures of the belts, what does that help? I just don't understand. But the real reason that I made this video is to say to you guys, look, be really careful with what spares you order and what you buy. Don't necessarily trust these companies to get it right. If Graded Electricals Direct can't even get a belt right, a belt, you know, this is pretty basic stuff, it's a belt. Then if you're going to be ordering like brush rolls or bearings or stuff like that, it might not necessarily be the correct part for your vacuum cleaner. And what we want to do in this hobby is to try and keep these machines going for as long as we can, which is important to us. You know, we care about them. We do this for a reason. And this kind of terrible, shoddy customer service, it's just not right, and it's acceptable either. So thanks for watching. Take care. Watch what you order, and always double check that you've received the right thing. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.